Services of 14 Main Road, Congo Town is ready to move and relocate your household and office furniture and equipment from one location or apartment to another. Modern Moving Services offer service of dismantling and assembling of furniture and equipment to make it more easier for you, the client. Security and safe handling of your property is 100% guarantee because that's your name. Modern Moving Services will also neatly set your apartment or office before you move in. They are equipped with containers to secure and to provide safe handling of carrying your properties or belongings to your new apartment or office. A seal will be used to lock the containers for you, the client, to be sure that your properties are well protected and safe. For more information, contact 078-146-685, 077-720-852 or email batisca182@gmail.com.
For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1, simply the best.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
.30 from New Englandville Studios. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. Today on Thursday, February 4, 2020. We will bring this Tuesday edition of the program come to you this morning. Mina Asma James.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this Tuesday edition of the program, Good Morning Salon, the Minister of Works and Public Assets, Peter Bayoko Conte, don give 7 days notice to people where they was and sell motocar na Yuyi building for pulling property them and left the building. As today, Tuesday, February 4, na World Cancer Day, the Reproductive Health Consultants and Well Woman Clinic, Madam Tina Davis, don't say, na over 1,000 women them be suffer from breast cancer inside 2019. And at the program this morning, we go get updates from the Ministry of Lands, Country Planning and Development, where they can talk about developments and challenge them where they happen at the ministry.
Well, this and plenty other story them, plus one Abdullah Ali Kamara, when our first year disabled students na IPAM, and a company disabled students them now for Abbey College, don't ask the Ministry of Tertiary Education for approved and letter of permit. We go make then the parts of the free quality education where you say disabled students them forget. Work about all na part of the program. You say for the listen can be part of the program. Do you text message to the AfriCell number 077-981-981. You can also go navigate to Democracy Facebook page and drop your comments there on issues them we discussed this morning. Same way, so you can listen we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl. All this now with support from Osiwa and AfriCell. The program now, Good Morning Salon.
The first issue we look at the program this morning as it continue with incorporate social responsibility in the Aberdeen community for make people get access to health facility. The Chief Executive Officer for Sea Coach Express now open 12-bed medical facility in the Aberdeen community. Also, the Minister of Health and Sanitation, Professor Dr. Alpha Wuri, say the health center where the Aberdeen community don't get now go help governments for address well body challenge them where people wait up they don't get. As he say the health center go they give 3 medical service to people them. Saptuka long gets more on this and go report.
Aberdeen community don't get serious challenge for get access to medical facility as people wait up na this community not get any medical center or facility where they for go in case of any immediate medical problem, and this be make community take all of them. Take this concern go to the CEO of Sea Coach, and as it continue for do incorporate social responsibility na the Aberdeen community, the CEO of Sea Coach Water Service don't go hand over the Aberdeen Community Health Center to people them. Outside the council on the Aberdeen community, Hamid Karim Bangura emphasized on corporate social responsibility as he say other business establishments them na Aberdeen for begin do the corporate social responsibility.
We want to see the youth this time round Aberdeen for change. We not get no side by Aberdeen. Now Aberdeen for change. We will make sure say we have corporate social responsibility when they give to the community. We not care when I for counter the Jaman know what we do in our community. If you use go to any institution, me, councillor, honorable, or anybody who go there without the knowledge of the elders, we will take action against you. Drastic one.
Salon in Nigeria don't get long-term party business. As plenty in Nigeria and they do salon and they do business, also they don't create job opportunity and other thing them. We make the Nigerian ambassador na salon. Ambassador Ibrahim Ogukbada say Nigeria will continue for give development support to salon.
Between both countries, I want to reassure you that Nigeria and Nigerians will continue to partner and support Sierra Leone in the attainment of its desired development. That the erection of this facility is possible today only because of the unflinching support and love that Mr. Olusegun Jaji and his team are enjoying from the good people and government of Sierra Leone. This is just one of the many other projects that Nigerian business community has carried out in a host country.
INSAI in talk, the CEO of Socotra Water Service, Olusegun Jaji, start for talk but we to make a decide for build a community health center facility.
And always making our country better and emphasize making the country better. A brief background of how this hospital came about. We had a community meeting where they highlighted the need for a health center. Just about the same time, a woman gave birth to a baby at the foot of the Aberdeen Bridge, very close to Socotra. It's remained on my mind on how I was born. I was born right in front of the hospital in the car. And my mom always told me that. So, it was something I wanted to try to change. Because that day, we wanted to rush the woman to Aberdeen, and then we realized there was no center here.
Olusegun Jaji, CEO of Socotra, continue say the Aberdeen Community Health Center gets 12-bed medical facility and other one them.
With a labor ward, shower and toilets, family planning room, a store, 2 consultation rooms with showers, and a laboratory yet to be equipped. This hospital already has a history. The hospital was meant to be a flat, but we moved up 1 story when we realized it couldn't accommodate all the things we wanted to fit into it. The community gave the land. I mentioned to a friend that I was building a hospital. She decided to visit as she was involved in the construction of a hospital. When I thought it was almost done, she asked me about the incinerator, and I was like, what is the incinerator? Then she told me, it's something that we have to do to be certified as a health center. So we have to build the incinerator. She became our pro bono consultant for over a year, coordinating between Socotra and the Ministry of Health to ensure the facility was equipped and staffed. Thank you very much, Madam Tina Davis. My friends from my old school supported me when they were here visiting my alumni. Told them about the problem of water supply and having to run the pipe all the way down to that street. And they, suggested, why don't we build a well and pumps to run the water all the way here so that the facility will always have water. Thank you very much, my friends from federal government. I also got support from a fellow Sierra Leonean, Mrs. Maria Tujalo, who donated some equipment like 2 ECG machines and a box of monitoring electrodes. Thank you very much. But all this is possible because of several people that are not here now. I'm the one here, and I'm not the only one doing this.
The Minister of Health and Sanitation, Professor Dr. Alpha Wuri say these are the kind of cooperation where West Africa country they need for themselves. As he say, with collaboration among country them in the West Africa region, that could make them able to do things for themselves.
We will try for saying a lot by collaboration and cooperation among ourselves now West Africa here. We hope say the currency, the echo, all of us were able to contribute as much as we could for make we get one country now West Africa, one money now West Africa. They don't run tired for the change of money to dollars, change of money to sterling for something where we want to. His Excellency, the President, Brigadier Retired Julius Madabi, will say this country for think of human capital.
Professor Dr. Alpha Wuri, Minister of Health and Sanitation, continue. Also, he said, na 3 medical service, the Aberdeen Community Health Center, go to get to people in that surrounding the and other side them.
If we do 3 things for the people of Aberdeen. The first one and the most critical, na the maternal and child care. This is not for woman no more. Any time woman they man for getting along. Now then non-communicable disease business. Then hypertension, then diabetes, then cancer business. The first line treatment, the first line observation or some treatment go also start now. The last bit is that this place should also have a diagnostic entity.
Salon in Nigeria cultural dance group they perform cultural song and dance. Outside people in the Aberdeen community, they show appreciation to see coach management and present gift to them and dance to the different cultural performance them. As now that in community don't get health center. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Sapti on the report.
From the report, then at the Aberdeen community, they look at other issues of the program outside the Customs Department, we now one pan the government sector them under the National Revenue Authority, where they in charge for generate revenue for government, as we for continue for generate the revenue now. Government, the new commissioner for customs, where na Abu Kane, don't say one of the plan them where it gets now for engage stakeholder them, na different sector them for let them go talk about how it go able for work proper one. Abu Kane, where na the new commissioner for customs, explain more about waiting a plan for do inside this interview with Usman Kamara.
Customs basically now we are the people who are responsible for import and export. Then again we represent other stakeholders like the security sector, the pharmacy board, the immigration, because mainly we task the border work with them basically do. Either at the sea border or at the air border or the land border. So basically that kind of work we do.
Right. Now, you don't be the new commissioner for customs. Let's look at some of your plans the way you get. What are some of the plans the way you get for improve this institution?
One at the core mandate of waiting the customs for then customs is established because a core mandate now for generate revenue. And secondly, I think say the other thing with me really the things that they embark on collaboration with other stakeholders and engagement with other colleagues them. So that everybody could know say you have a task and the task is move forward with this. You understand? So that task is basically the responsibility. But main thing say more they for do because we need some reforms there. Where that reforms there, one make the public really clearly know what we're supposed to do because a lot of misconceptions there about customs activities. Basically because we responsibility not clearly well defined. So once responsibility clearly well defined, the public perception or conception will be different altogether.
All right. Even though you don't explain what you plan them, but again, people keep go ask, say, what's not immediate plan the way as you don't come, who you get for look inside?
Oh, my immediate plan and engagement. I need to engage all the stakeholders, the management team, because I want this institution to be run by a team. It shouldn't be a one-man thing. A one-man business highly succeed. So where you partner, you team with your colleagues, them when I partner with other stakeholders, them, I think say you can able make a way forward. Okay. I believe that one way. The just where the board don't repose in giving me this responsibility, I think say challenge. I need to stand up to them and ensure say what they ask me for do or they expected of me, I'll follow them to the latter. Then one, the revenue generation, two, for clean the image of the institution, ensure anything secrecy they what is to be said to the public is said to the public. What the public should know, the public should know. No need for the public to go question other areas. Come directly to customs, ask critical questions, then you get the answers for whatever you want.
Right. The issue of attitudes towards customer them now one thing we come up today during the term way that they show you to the workman them saying that you know the new commissioner. How you get for work towards that for CC the respect where customer them where they can
That's one reason. That's one reason why I say I get for engage the different stakeholders. Not only stakeholders, my colleagues themselves we get for engage them. I get for get one-on-one with different heads of unit them, the managers, the departmental heads them. Until such a time I engage every staff one-on-one. Then I get for ensure say you get for build like confidence, you get for reassure them, say hey, this is what you are expected to do. Once you are within this line, I will stand to defend you to the highest point of authority. But if you fall short, Forget about you being my brother, forget about you being my friend. The possibility for you to survive in the system will be very minimal.
What's going to be your word of assurance to the public now? Say you will give it your best.
My word of assurance to the public is this is a challenge. Let them continue for giving support and question whatever they want to question. But I assure them say the board and management not do anything wrong, waiting and do it quite correct.
Alright, well that's the new Customs Commissioner wey na Abu Kanebe dey talk na that interview dey with Usman Kamara about seeing them where he plan for do other in administration for improve on the Customs Department then work.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salon where they come to you from 98.1 FM where they go to other issue. USAI, some disabled students them we they in Afrabe College and IPAM don't serious concern say their university administration from the different college there so not agree for register them because they not get letter from the Ministry of Tertiary Education on who that's for pay for the fees. Well, for sake of this, the regional coordinator West for the National Commission for Persons with Disability, Jonathan Conte, don't say the commission not glad with the way how the ministry though they are to handle the issue here. As he say, if then students here drop out of from the university, and the ministry responsible for that. Well, Princess Pierce look inside this and now reports.
Some of the competent institutions, they don't get registration ID card, and we now not up to that level they it.
IPAM don't pull a press release and say the deadline the 8th. So if anybody not pay a school fee, may not enter by any classroom.
Government need for giving something like free education because we find it difficult.
Voice of some disabled students them where they attend Frabe College and the Institute of Public Administration and Management, IPAM. They talk about how they not glady where they're not able to get permits from the Ministry of Tertiary Education for help them get registration number for this semester. Usai then continue say, if they're not able to register before the 8th of February, it go embark them book learning one.
Some of the competent institutions, they don't get registration ID card, and we now not up to that level they it. Now we they call on the minister because now the NCTVA people and they lay all their own side for making able to come into this own situation.
IPAM don't pull a press release and say the deadline the 8th. So if anybody not pay a school fee, may not enter by any classroom.
Government need for giving something like free education because we find it difficult for me to allow we for we able take these exams here.
The Disability Act of 2011, Section 14, they talk about how anybody where they live with disability gets right to free education na tertiary institution them. But how this act don't they work for disabled people them? Jonathan Conte, na the regional coordinator West, na the National Commission for Persons with Disability, he explained.
We get we student them, the disabled student them now almost all of the public tertiary education then in this country. And by the law, Section 14 of the Persons with Disabilities Act, say all disabled students within any institution of higher learning where the Tertiary Education Commission don't accredit and the ministry responsible don't approve for get free education. So we student them in the past, we don't give them letters where they can go na the registry and then they register them. But of late, we don't get the issues there from Injala and from the University of Sierra Leone in particular, then to they refuse for register with student them because they say Uda go pay and the act say free.
But waiting on be the Ministry of Tertiary Education, they respond to this call as according to the Disability Act, now they are the accredited body were responsible for them people in the education business. Jonathan Conte again.
After one meeting where we began a ministry day, we are table the issue. The director in charge of research and development will be chair the meeting. Be say we for rights. So we as a commission we can write to the permanent secretary and we copy the minister, we copy the deputy minister, but we go there unfortunately they not treat we well. Honestly, it's sad and we are not happy that our disabled students are being treated with neglect, are being treated with abandonment by the ministry responsible. In this particular circumstances, the ministry responsible. They need to address this issue urgently, because then disabled students they are get a right not to be put and day. Now parliament this go through like every other law. So if the ministry will responsible for ensure say this still happen, now do their work. I think say you're really unfortunate. But if they not get education, then get them at university, then get them at the college, what do you expect? Then they go back na street and for go big. If they do that, then the ministry responsible for higher education are the responsible, Mr. President.
From then concern here, Radio Democracy try forget somebody na the Ministry of Tertiary Education. For no it not be the delay, whether students are not able to get them permission yet from the ministry for make them go able for register before the 8th of February, but not be able to get person for respond. This reason they make one go to wonder, waiting will be the fate of the students here. For Radio Democracy, Princess Pierce the reports.
7:49 at the time from Studio Clock. We continue the program. Good morning, Salon. Where they come to you from 98.1 FM. Where they bring this Tuesday edition of the program come to you. Mina Asma James.
And Mabel Kaba.
Well, as soon as we headline this morning, we they get updates from the Ministry of Lands and Country Planning. But the developments, them challenges them, we don't they now the ministry. Well, inside the program this morning for can talk about and they want to welcome the Minister of Lands, Dr. Dennis Sandy. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Mrs. James, good morning. A family, a beautiful Tuesday morning to all of you.
All right. Well, the Ministry of Lands gets plenty mandates, and the minister this morning will talk about the mandates we then get, successes and challenges inside 2019, plans them for 2020. Let me start with the mandates of the Ministry of Lands. Waiting basically the ministry about.
Thank you, Mrs. James. The family, by its very name, since independence, it's called the Ministry of Lands, now Housing and Country Planning. We mandate basically in a threefold. On the land aspect, for ensure that, yes, there is complete sanity, effective distribution and management of the governance of land system in this country, especially state lands them, for protect them, preserve them, and distribute them. They will ensure that, yes, houses are built in conformity with the regulations of the Freetown Improvement Act and the Town and Planning Country Act. And finally, for country plan itself, that means that for plan with areas them, communities them, cities them, with regards to the current trends of the 21st century. This basically we found that the mandate of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning.
So for 2019, almost over 1.5 years, you don't do as minister. Waiting you don't do for improve on all the you don't talk so in terms of protection, preserve, distribution of state lands, help for plan these different areas them.
Good, thank you very much. We found since we entered that ministry day on the 29th of May 2018, then of course with Deputy Minister Mr. Rex Bonefa, based on the pleasure of His Excellency our President, Brigadier Retired Julius Madabio for appointment as Minister. We've done a lot there. I mean, believe me, and I will go through, but I will summarize. The first we will do, we'll hold a meeting with all the professionals, them, our directors, them, and get a snapshot of what actually na the challenge them, of this ministry over time, and what to make the ministry not at the level where for be. So there again, we hit the ground running immediately. So first thing, we don't refine the processes and procedures them, make them very simple. We govern how citizens them, both at home and in the diaspora, for our government land, who call state lands them. Secondly, we don't make the freehold business so open and transparent. Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, 2 o'clock, we get a freehold committee meeting with the interview prospective candidates them, whether apply over time for them freehold them. For now, we don't get as many freehold to people them as possible on government lands them. Again, we don't reclaim both here in Freetown and of course in the regions as many state lands as possible. Never in the history of this country. We don't reclaim government lands them here in the western area. From of course Gloucester Saddle, I've been saying it. We don't reclaim land at Tuke. We don't reclaim land at Borough Town. We don't reclaim land Ken Junction, Hastings Wharf, Grafton, Mogigba, Motim, etc. We don't reclaim as many lands as possible. Thank God for we actions them. Up country, we don't reclaim land at the government reservation, of course, in areas them and the airfields them. Don't forget my family, for a very, very long time, These lands there we are being unpaid for to land-owning families them, now the provinces them, we don't come. We've been there last year, we don't pay land-owning families them, this and the Mauna Bo, the Kebi, the Bangras, the Lebi, Kenema, we don't pay the Gombulangos, we don't pay the Kaisambas, etc. And now the reservation and the field and now the properties of the government of Australia. Again, we don't hold discussions them with the land-owning families them right across the country. Kenema, McKinney, Bo, Kono, Kailaon, even here Freetown. In fact, next week we try for good bond. So basically, we have done as much as possible. But more importantly, my family, what I know is that the ministry is not the same it used to be, honestly, over the past few years. The respect, again, what the ministry don't get over time is really very high. Because with family, whatever you do that this whole year, if you don't get respect, people don't have integrity in you, they don't get confidence in you, is a problem. So yes, the surveyors them are now, of course, working in concert with the aspirations of the people of this country and in line with the direction of government, because we don't try to put under control, we don't tell exactly what the rules of engagement. But more importantly, we don't try to enforce development control. Within a city, we will block access to them. Within our cities, them, we for low pass now various areas, them don't prove extremely difficult. So people have come to us with all discussions, them. We have gone on the ground, we don't resurvey, we don't see what's the access for pass, we don't clear some areas, them, it don't become accessible now. Again, we don't try for stop as many demolitions them as possible through, of course, the collaboration and understanding with the Nigerian Minister of Justice and, of course, with the dynamic Chief Justice, because most often than not, court orders from the past government then one for affect we. So don't try for actually put that under control. But finally, we don't introduce now the real concept of country planning. This is why in this realignment of His Excellency's government, they don't try for put the country plan aspect of ministry for showcase that this time around we need to be serious for plan with areas and communities them. So this is what we are doing, and this has been our engagement over time.
So as part of the thing we see don't change under your administration, waiting new don't come in terms of how for acquire government land.
Now the process is open. For the very first time, the Ministry of Lands. Yes, for the very first time, the Ministry of Lands, interviews have been conducted for 3 batches of people. They came in an open and transparent manner. We interviewed in our conference hall. They were so pleased. And so the process is simple. You write an application for state land to meet the minister. You say you're a Australian above the age of 18. And then you meet all those attributes that, of course, you get the required financial flow or an income guarantee for start the construction of a house. And then you attach 2 passport pictures them and any means of identification. Give me the front page of your passport, your driver's license, your birth certificate, whatever will identify you. So that is simple. And then, again, what's more I find very interesting about this entire project is that people for the very first time from back of Scouts camp to Charlotte, they now know exactly what to do for acquire state land. So in fact, we are saying in those days, Mr. Minister, it was very difficult to sit, on such a round table and hold discussions with the minister. It was very difficult for access government ministers, especially in this ministry. But me, your administration, people are accessing me, and of course, give audience to them. So that is very new. But what's more important again, now the distribution mechanism. We hold people, we then land them. We can you go say, this is your land, plot 1, plot 2, as the case may be. We show you. Over the past years, it was never happening. Talk to people, they will tell you they have state land documents, government land documents, but the lands we are not there to be seen. So under William government, under the leadership of His Excellency, the retired Brigadier New Direction government, what they do new is that when we plot an area, we don't map everything. We get, of course, with sheets. When we take into consideration beneficiaries now, we give you letter of offer, and the plot of land is indicated, and then the acreage. But again, what's more interesting about me is that, and we in that ministry, we don't refine the terms and conditions then now. Don't forget, the space for state land has been squeezed over time. And in the western area, we don't get as many as it used to be. So don't change those conditions then. We will make people become relaxed in developing state land.
Because
it used to be 3 years, now it's 1 year.
Available where they right now Freetown, for example, where say now side them way available for let people apply for state land.
We don't do them. Gloucester have said it. Motim, Mongigba. Of course, number 2 River, 2K, Kent, even during town. In fact, during town, honestly, when I went there last week, when I see the land in question, so flat and beautiful, with the kind of fresh air with the blow there, I say, wow, we are blessed in this country.
All right.
So,
Dr. Sandy, let me look at how you reach a decision for reclaim state's land and how fairly you claim the land there.
Wonderful.
Take with you to that process there.
First, this is what we do. When we identify a piece of land, according to the State Lands Act, we go in there and invite invitations then for the relevant documents then. We say, who don't know say you get this land, do you bring your documents then? Before we go there, we don't get we own documents them from cadastral. Now we get a state-of-the-art charting office where they map out every land in this country. For the very first time, that office is unique. So we go in there, we invite for invitations them. Now we give them some period. First with the first service. The whole service, we go give a second notice. Where you knock again, we give you a third notice. And then when that happens, we they go erect now with state land signpost. Say government of Sierra Leone, state land reclaimed by the government of Sierra Leone, Oputandi. Again, it lasts for almost 21 days. Again, when we're not can now, we go now, we do the perimeter and survey of that place there. We'll get the site plan signed by the Director of Surveillance and Lands. Now we send it now to the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Then we have farmer and others now, they draw a conveyance for say yes, state land reclaim, and they register them now the office of the Administrator and Registrar General. In fact, this brings to something very important. Last week, the Human Rights Commission go to my office with, of course, Mighty Levali, and then we discussed this kind of things. They were so impressed when I showed them, because again, they again became a bit concerned about what they are hearing in the land sector. When I pulled all the documents, I showed them that we have reclaimed such lands, we have registered them, look at copies, look at examples. They were so amazed. So the process is simple. We don't go just there, Mrs. James, for say with the Kapu land. We give people in time. But the thing is that when they bring their documents now, and then we check it, you know, every sector get in language where they talk. When the Ministry of Lands, who is the devil, that means say your land is fake. Your site plan is not authentic. We get what that was they use for sure understand it. So when they bring these documents them, with the partner the system, we check now the records books over time, we get the LOA books them, most often they are not there. But again, what they can over time, Mrs. James and my sister, they can cut and paste. For instance, you add the number now, all site plans them get LS numbers. The LS number is what identifies a state land or a government land or private land from other lands them. It's like your ID card, or you, of course, you collect your identification number. So those LS numbers, then what most often they can do, then they cut them from the one they authentic and paste them by the one they not genuine. Then they go try for photocopy them. So it's easy for law identify them. But then we get strong systems them, we get stronger mechanisms with the pick of fake plans them, and we'll tell you if you say these plans are not genuine.
Continue for the retweet. The time for studio clock now 8 o'clock. Where we come, we continue with the program. Good morning, Salon. Where they come to you from 98.1 FM.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Edsalight, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program now Good Morning Salon, and they come to you from 98.1 FM. We still get the Minister of Lands, Dr. Dennis Sandy. They talk about the ministry this morning. Now they talk about how they acquire state lands, yes, and later how they distribute them. But in the event there is an issue with that land day, how you can take decision and on some of them, and because many times when they say confusion can come, which power you get for make sure say when the confusion here can be your own word Nike stand instead of the courts.
When the ministry word Nike is not the court, I mean, my family look at the distinction here. We get state land, we get private land. The state land under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. Private lands, of course, if you get in a dispute, you can go to court, but first, more importantly, you go first now the anti-land grabbing unit of every police station. You make a complaint there. They send those land documents to us, conveyancing and site plans. We write a report. We send again at the anti-land grabbing unit for onward forwarding to the courts as the case may be. Again, our report now can stand, and they provide an informed judgment on the matter at hand before the magistrate. So now, but for state lands, it's simple. We found them. All state lands letters of offer, they get conditions indicating that letter of offer. Over time, they give, of course, the duration, 3 years as the case may be. They tell, sorry, they tell you say if you demarcate your land, if you fence them, they tell you say if you don't develop them before you apply for freehold, and they say if you pay your lease rent every year, and of course you don't for trace them. Then they get a last paragraph which say violation of any of them conditions they are going to lead to an automatic cancellation of the lease. Automatic cancellation of the lease. And so it's there. I didn't write it. Yeah. And so when they get that letter of offer, you write your letter of acceptance. It's like they accept that for Big Jala, then you don't get admission letter, then you write now for accept those conditions them. So it's simple. So over time, if you not develop the state lands then the government they can knock back on the door, look the same letter be due and go through them conditions day. If anyone they wait they against, they determine it.
So what can happen, for example, where somebody go don't develop land, maybe you don't get structure day, but we they see again una can go broke.
No, we never broke with all respect, ma.
You know, you under you administration and never demolish.
No. Demolition is different yeah. Now. You see, one thing they discuss now, yeah, if we go on the ground and get the evidence system. Now, if you don't put up a structure on the piece of land, you know, don't. That means the structure is there. But don't forget, there are other conditions then regarding payment of lease rent. If you pay your lease rent, there's nobody will go rent us, whether private in this country, yeah, where every year you need to pay your rent. In fact, in this country now, they ask you to pay for 2 years. So you still have to pay, even though you've started your foundation. But then it depends again on the level of the development. This is why the letter it talks say a reasonable level of development. That means between 0 and 1, if about 0.5, that's the average. So if you just go put foundation there, you left them for 2-3 years, you know go again. Then of course the ministry get right for repossessor, because most often than not, people then we don't get letters of over time, don't reassign this land to others. Then through sale, they sell it indirectly and say, "Will they reassign now for instance to you, my sister, and put it in there?" But inwardly, we know say they have sold those lands to you. So what we do is that we define what we call reasonable level of development, 0.5 and above. But if you go put foundation there, we just right here to me knee, and then 3-5 years, you know, good in. And then we get demand for land. Believe me, we they call it to attention, and then we talk to the PS, and they say this letter of termination, we put it in our file, then you sign for them, then we go in now for a possessor. But if you get valid reasons or excuse why make over the past few years you not develop them, then you can now write us a letter and appeal. Say, Mr. Minister, I was sick and not be able, I began this kind of thing. Do you have mercy on me? Do you are sorry for me? We can now call a senior management committee of our ministry. We sit down and look into the matter there. And most often than not, the one that appeal, we don't get the land. But what I don't want law will do that is country, my sister, they're simple. People that get this penchant for sit on government lands there. In fact, most often than not, now the land grabbing is just for fence the land and try for selling to prospective bidders there. Right, and we don't go sit down and allow for happen. So go in there and look at the terms and conditions there. We say don't go fault, we'll bring it to your attention, we'll call it to your meeting, and of course we'll terminate and respect.
So who's law will give the authority say in case there's a dispute for state land, now you for go take this land and not the court?
Now listen, if you watch the State Lands Act, yeah, this is one letter of offer, the first paragraph will say the Minister of Lands get the land to lease, grant, yeah, and allocate, yeah, grant is there the first paragraph. And so what we do, when you read the State Lands Act, it give me that power as minister, apart from that compulsory acquisition, for say if you don't default, yeah, in those terms and conditions, then the ministry get right for withdraw and back.
But this same Lands Act, Mr. Minister, now also say the state powers to acquire unoccupied lands as state lands, and in respect of the attorney, like if we go to the attorney general,
unoccupied. It's not it's different from what we are discussing here. We don't give like Mrs. James a letter of offer for a state land and hill station. Now an occupied land is land when nobody know that's what's unoccupied. It's a vast stretch of land where sometimes bushy, sometimes forest oriented, so they even get forest reserve.
So you go take state lands without, in case there is dispute without no court order.
No, the dispute is this. Listen, I want to get something clear here. First, we are the principal authority. We give you our letters of offer for state land. We don't give you. Don't forget when you are applying, you're not applying to the court. You are applying to the ministry for say one land. And so ministers over time don't give the letter of offer plus the authentic site plan signed by the director of surveillance and lands. Either apply to the court. Now, where the court comes in is simple. Where, for instance, there's a conflict of this land we government give, then a private individual they lay claim of ownership over that piece of land. Then we can go to court now for justify say the land in question is in fact a state land.
But you can go court.
No, or you can just we get me surveyors them, we get me directors them, Mr. James, and we go reports them, and we go cadastras them. In fact, now the office of the Attorney General and of course Mr. Napoleon Kroma, then they go now they represent. Don't forget They are the General Department. 9, they advise all government ministries them. They get state councils them, where they represent all government ministries and departments them, now court of law. We don't go there.
But
we send our evidences there, and they go in there and argue on our behalf. This is what they're doing for
many
all
in
government
the
ministries.
reclaim here, we can reclaim it can get disputes, confusion, and we can also see that you can deploy military personnel there. Whose authority you get for deploy military? Go with military personnel. We will not be in state of emergency because we see where government can deploy military means say a serious business under MAFP.
No.
So now whose authority you can get for move with military officer they for go execute.
How many military officers? Let me tell you, the role of the military has become dynamic over time in the 21st century. I've been to Kenya. I've been to Morocco. I'm coming. I'll forget the issue. We talk about president. I've been to those countries them where the military they assist the police, on state land matters them and any other duties them with the state. Don't forget they are there to also protect lives and properties apart from the police and for external aggression. So we have a situation in this ministry where over time surveyors have been attacked. Directors have been killed and killed gorgeously and dangerously. The lives of the people and the ministers they honestly in danger. Last week, you know what happened in Sussex, where the director of EFA, right, Mr. Garnett, large crowds of young men with machetes at the hand, they go behind the bush, begin brush and lay fire on that. Now we know what happened. So this is it. Now I get
so right what's the role of the police? No, but what's the role of the police in the execution? Because so
the role of the police
the police their main duty now for
assist in arresting anybody who want for defy the operations of the Ministry of Lands. Let me tell you.
So why you need police and soldier for the one execution?
Because of the kind of volatile nature of the land who happen to find yourself. Before we go out, would they write a letter requesting for police assistance to the Inspector General and the military now to the relevant AIGs them, like Mr. Solan and Lumley. In fact, yesterday my men went to do some job in Lumley and get them 3 police officers them. Now the role of the police that one day. And according to what they do, in terms of the security aspect of it, now this is what we do. When we are going out as government officers them, don't forget this land grabbing business, nothing will involve almost all players them, and we have lives and we have to protect ourselves. We go more gig back, they attacked us one day, pastor will call back their somebody assistant. Let me just land down. We have a network. We comprise of military police. Don't forget we have MPs military police. They are there for provide security and support to the military for do their work around and for God for protect the minister and officials them. They are there. So I just get 3 of them, normal land, 3 of them. We move with 3 of them. And when they move with 3 of them, believe me, sanity don't prevail. Because when we go there, nobody attacks us. God the days when they attack we. When we go there, the police are there to effect arrest.
So you feel the only peaceful way than the way go able to reclaim land?
No.
That's not the civilians them? Because that EU they use.
No, now protect the violence. When we came as ministers, me and Rex Bonafa, we move around. We held for the first edition of this ministry, a mammoth meeting at Meta Conference Center. We called all the headmen them, all the councillors them, all the section chiefs them to a meeting and tell them, say, now we are giving this responsibility for help for the government lands them now on the various committees. They were so happy and pleased about it. But then when you move into the field, and people start studying you, it's when the viral will go by simple. They nearly burned down my vehicle. Had it not been for God, because I believe in God, probably the worst would have happened to me. I was pelted with stones, people attacked me, and then we have to call the police for security. The thing about land business is that it is very precarious and unlives them. So you can't toil with your life when you go out in the field. So you ask for security. This is why all sectors of ministries they get the different monies them. And
So,
based on that money,
in terms of the NKNC again, you aware say now the delay working day where people can apply for land can make some people can just continue for the waiting and they do. Because you go see for example, person will not get better money go apply for land, somebody will get money pass and apply at that same time, but that person will get money in your process go complete before the next month.
Well, that is what we call an insinuation allegation or something to think about. Let me tell you maybe what is happening now. Okay, when you apply for people, they even go squat first of government land before applying.
The time frame where they take for
now listen, no. The time is very short. When we go there,
waiting
we
at the
short
time.
say, no, maximum 3 or 4 days. Ask people now.
3 or 4 days you apply for government land, you go get them.
All applications get a time frame. Don't forget, we get about 2,000 applications that we deal with now from last year. In fact, we don't put up
so
a
now
cutoff
that's how
point.
they ask.
No, we don't get the cutoff point. Say, in fact, no more applications should be received from last year, August. It's there. We are now processing them. Now you go to those in Mogigba, go to back of Skaskam, to go to Eastern Swaf, go to even Rokeliam's farm. Yesterday I was in the office till 9:30.
So the one that already apply, how long did it take?
It depends if you become successful. No, it depends if you become successful. And not mean so you apply, they get automatically. Not all man they apply for.
Yeah, so whether you get or not, I just want to know the time frame where it takes.
And basically for this, if you get your site plan, if everything goes on well, because we go on the ground, we survey, we plot them, we chat them, we put down our records them for tomorrow. When nobody will be there, for check out, they will sign now, they will call you and give you respectfully. And then again, it depends on how fast you pay your survey charge them. We have got letters of offer those from last year. People will not come for paying survey charge them when 250,000 euros. So you can't blame the ministry. You blame whether you will get contact with the ministry. This is why those who apply for land, it is your responsibility for the checking on the ministry every Thursday after 2 o'clock. So if you don't check, then sometimes we don't know whether you are interested. And don't forget, it's not only here that we want land. We get diasporans and back when they come, they also show interest in land. Yesterday I received 2 people from Australia. They don't apply, and we are looking to it. So the process is very, very short, but then it depends on your commitment and determination for meeting the other aspects.
So, Dr. Sandy, you think, say, you get the power for settle land disputes them, and your decision actually
it depends on the nature, Mrs. James. Listen, it's in your home. We all know married. Sometimes it's a tongue the jump. So you either go to your mother-in-law before you go, of course, to the father or the sheikh, where, of course, join one. It's true, asthma. So the thing is, it's simple. For state lands, I get the flexible authority. You know why? Because the ministers over time and made a signed letter of offer. And in their maybe it talks the violation of any of these conditions will lead to an outright termination. Then you agree. Then you don't give your letter of acceptance. So would they expect, say, one, if they pay your list in time? As far as I'm talking to you now, and know of organizations, them, agencies, them, institutions, them, media houses, them, whether they pay their list rents them. And this is serious. So it is you for pay. When you pay, it becomes easier. But then, what is really the bug in this country is that sometimes people just become complacent. Now, the whole of Lumley Beach, we don't try for comedy. Thank God people are paying now. And don't forget, last year, we got about 4 billion loans to the revenue basket of this government for just 1 year, 6 months, for the very first time in this country, because we are writing people them and we collaborate with the NRA, where they also issues of reminder to people that overpay who rent them. So we're on track.
All right, continue for the between the program. Dr. Dennis Sandy, now the Minister of Lands. 14 minutes after 8, we'll go for the short break.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's a loan for me and you. Kids Future Savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme there. We branch and they all up on Nasalon. Boko no kenema, we dey. Kabalama bogo kakambia, we dey. Jala free town loan sa, we dey. And my lengthy one, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank, Nasalon for me and you. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program is still listening to now. Good morning, Salon, and the time from the studio clock now 8:16. We will look at other issues of the program as we tell you earlier today. Salon they join other country them for Member World Cancer Day. INSAI, the reproductive health consultants, now well Woman Clinic, Madam Tina Davis say. INSAI 2019, over 1,000 women be suffer from breast cancer. Na Salon where this is an alarming number, where for make government pay more attention for fertility sick. It talk more to Wani Gauja.
All cells today are normal, but when the abnormal cells form, it attack all the other cells them. Where they make people then say, now they call cancer. So that it damage that cell day. Okay. So a healthy cell gets damaged. And that's the cancer.
Okay, so basically, what can cause them?
We don't know what they cause cancer.
But how people they manage to get them?
It's just not the risk factors we know. Risk factors is if you get family history of cancer, if you don't get previous cancer before, if you smoke, if you drink heavily than spirits, if gender safe in one aspect, it restricts you to certain cancers. So healthy living, exercise, now all the things that they recommend. Say if you get bad luck, forget the sickness. If your body well and a healthy body, you will fight disease easily.
So talking about gender, man and woman, also are more likely forget her, also are more risky too.
Man and woman will get cancers, and specific cancers are very restricted to the gender, because breast cancer and cervical cancer now purely woman cancer, although 1% of men they get breast cancer. It's very rare. Then when it comes to prostate cancer, now man they no more they get them. And most men then they get the liver cancer because of the drinking habits, because man they drink more than women. No means the woman they get liver cancer too. So we just therefore reduce with risk factors. Then we know they say you need to get at all. No way not there for prevent cancer, as I say, unless we lifestyle and minimize the risk factors.
Okay, so the two cancer that we just make mention of, the breast cancer and the prostate cancer, we just make mention of. Which one common are the two?
The most common cancer na salon, na the reproductive cancer, na the female cancer, when na breast cancer and cervical cancer. The third, na the prostate cancer, we demand them. Liver cancer, but those three main ones, them, that they really affect people in a salon. Based on the statistics we get from 2018, at the Cancer Society, we will get up to 2,500 cancers. But when it comes to breast cancer, we will get 1,035, we form 41% of the cancers. The way you look at cervical cancer, it forms 12%. The prostate cancer, now 15.3%. So when you look at you notice the woman they suffer more of cancer in a salon because of the the data where we get predominantly what you will see.
So there is this misconception, say, especially for the breast cancer, say, woman the way they use bra we get something like a iron panel, or woman where they put money in Bobby, and so many other misconceptions say they using that for make woman they get that breast cancer na too.
No, that's not true. Woman where they put money now will be not just simple hygiene purposes. The money different people don't hold money. It don't pass, you don't know which hand it don't pass, then you put them back on your skin. Not just the health aspect there. And when it comes to the bra, it's all about comfort. When you wear the right size bra, you do notice say you bobby they did the way it's supposed for day. That not cause cancer, but that discomfort it cause to the woman.
Okay, so many people get this mindset say, as I get cancer, so now for just die one time because nothing all day for me in a salon. Not true with that idea where people in they go with.
We always say early detection saves lives. It depends when you present with the abnormality, because not to every breast change na cancer. Most people when they come, like with clinics, so the number of people when they come, the data we get are like half. If they get a breast change, you come, or they don't check, don't do your scan, or they do a clinical examination, they realize, say, it's a benign change, not to cancer. Obviously, there is a change there. Some people when they get fibroid, where the fibrous tissues, like where you the cow beef, where they with this first side, they can call jala jala. Then it's the fibrous tissue working within the breast. Then it's a breast change, but little cancer. Where they don't go, they don't get the investigation, when an ultrasound or mammogram, where they come, not only 41, we get forget lumpectomy for remove that side, and 39 we get mastectomy. Mastectomy not the removal of the breast. So with the watch say per ordinary reason we get like 442 we come back to me. That 398 where now 47% no come back. No show. It's possible say amongst the one in day you get people who actually get cancer. But because cancer treatment not free, it's very expensive. You manage to go until they get money, then come. Not realizing, say, the time when they take for finding the money, or whether they wait, cancer not the wait. If they continue for develop, if they go into other, parts of the body, you get for them to say people and get metastasis, if they continue for that.
So what do you think say need for be done? Especially with the idea where people and they go with and the way people and they get cancer and all, what if you say need for be done as salon for save lives, any form of awareness?
First of all, we don't do awareness a lot. And because we talk about cancers in general, I know we'll try for narrowing down to breast cancer. So we can always say to people and say, we get for commit we safe as the theme for 2019 to 2021 for the World Cancer, I am and I will. We all make a personal commitment for either present we safe we will notice that there is a breast change or support somebody where you know say this boss here something wrong with him body but afraid for go. Then when I come, then look at as we say, lots of every breast change na cancer. Most of it not just a benign change, but if you know even for detect that abnormality there, if something wrong with that breast, when actually cancer, it means that by the time you present, your chances are very slim. So they always encourage people to present early. Like the man them, we can always see with prostate cancer. Most times we woman them, whether they foreplay or waiting, they go touch them at their partners and testicle, they realize say, I they feel lump, they will not be needed. They then go check out. And that they always say to people that with the woman then, for be comfortable with their body once, a month, like a week after the period, then check themselves. And if all things all right, fine. If they notice any change, they report them. Also, every change in a cancer. So now that we can really look for highlight to people then, because the fear of cancer, and people can come up.
But
in
you not sense any increase?
Yes, there's an increase because of, you see, it's like most other things. The way people they talk say, the awareness you raise, the more people they come.
So what do you think say need for be done in government part for able help them people and they were not able to afford a waking left so don't say with time the thing get worse?
We only wish government could actually put a small person side for such people, not for all man, but for their one we can't afford. Because like what we do, if any woman gets breast cancer or diagnose them, you get breast cancer. If you're not able to afford, we get people that can raise funds for we get a little plus for that.
So any plan for this year celebration?
Well, this year commemoration, we not do much. We're supposed to get a symposium, and as I say, all man can say they go on dry. For two, they go on dry. Because we sponsors, they will be expect to forget. They no come up to anything. But we will still wear with t-shirts, we will still continue for talk about cancer, we will go on TVs, on radios, we continue for raise awareness.
Alright, well that's Madam Tina Davis, we in the reproductive health consultants and woman clinic, be they talk another interview there with Wani Gauja as Salon they join other country them today February 4th for member the World Cancer Day.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. The Minister of Lands there, I don't talk about today we do last year. The duties of the Lands Ministry, we talk about threefolds, and we talk about the land aspect, protect, preserve, distribute state lands, and also how the country planning. Now, many a time, we not can get you too much for talk on country planning. Exactly. And with this latter part, we see you don't start for rename communities. Them we can't talk about the renaming of communities, but let me look at the planning, country planning generally. What in your ministry they do in this area?
Wonderful.
Or when I say country planning first, now waiting.
Now the ability of a government ministry of agency charged with that responsibility for put order in communities them with the kind of structures them, where for them on the ground, and the kind of facilities them over there around, and the roads them, the extent, the length and breadth of it. That is what is called country planning. And so this is simple. Now over time, if most of us have traveled. We have been to other African countries them. We don't see the beauty of it. Rwanda now is the perfect model. All the talk. Say communities them are so planned, and they house them, they're in uniform, and they get the same color, and the streets then get the same design, and people then get the same settings them. That is it. So country planning implies that when we as ministry don't see a piece of land in a government land, and we will not say over moving quickly and try for possessor and distribute effectively, we send our country planners there together with our surveyors on the ground. That's where we believe in teamwork. We get the acting director of surveillance and lands, Mr. Tamba Dauda, and we get, of course, the director of housing and country planning, Mr. Augustika Ibanya. They send the officers on the ground for what is called perimeter surveying. The perimeter surveying, they give you the entire length and breadth and the coordinates of the land in question. From that, now, then they plot them into different parcels of land. For instance, we can say this area, depending on the topography, we say now 2 town lot commodity or 3 town lot as the case may be. So we go there, we plan it all, we draw with paper, and then we plot them. We go see again, if I hear, now school for day, if I now hospital for day, now church for day, now mosque for day, now playground for day, of course, now bank for day, etc., etc. So we plan out, we draw, of course, and put it on our board. Then we go save on our computer. Then that is the country planning aspect. So when people that apply, and all of those laws, they get numbers them from 1 to, of course, 75, as the case of back of Scouts Camp, we also get 75 laws a day. So when person go, we say Minister A or Dr. Sandy, plot 1, acreage number, we'll put at the, we'll take and back, we'll hold you, okay, you go. That is county planning. But they would emphasize, because over time, your sisters them, and brothers them, people that don't go beyond the stipulated acreage as indicated on their site plan, and that has been the source of problem and conflict that most of them communities today. Because when they give you 2 town lots, you go now, you make your first 2.5 town lots, you don't eat into the access to it, you don't eat into the land belonging to others them, and then it causes friction. So this is why we are emphasizing on development control, and this is why we are vigorous for planning new areas them who don't try to bring under the ministry. And not only here in the western area of them, but also in Bo, Kenma, McKinney, and NSI, we country planning aspect is required.
So I'll bring you to an example of Mageba, where you don't name. We can talk about it later.
No existing committee. Before, if I don't go there, let me just correct you. It is still Mungigba. Okay. You know, let me tell you one thing we people don't understand. Sometimes we have to do research properly and read and come to us as the ministry law explain to people properly. Mungigba is still Mungigba. What we decided to do now, areas that were newly identified. That is the emphasis. Newly identified.
We'll catch up with that.
Exactly.
Let's just look at Mongeba, where I believe say the last you predecessor be minister will be the day before.
Okay.
Sorry, be planned up that area. They also like always see the explain. So
okay.
Usai mosque for day, Usai Bengon for day, and all into the area. Then when you come back, we see say you try for do your own back. Usai the they be identified as being gone. We don't see say we get information say complaint from the community say you don't name them or you don't take them, don't give them to people. How true that they be?
I wish you for go there with you independent reporters them may they assess the situation on the ground.
It may go there.
Well, good. What did they tell him or her? It's left with him. But let me tell you what happened there. I mean, it's just unfortunate that I'm sitting here and not bring any relevant documents in. And I pray that you get TV one day so that when I talk now with authority, I will show people and they will see. I didn't see any leftover documents. I entered that ministry without a single handover note. The office was bare. So if that was planned, I'm here to see a document from the past administration of minister who could say it was planned. Yes, it's true. There's nothing. Me talk with authority. I entered that ministry, there was no single document there. I repeat, no single document. The director will attest, go and talk to any government officer. So in fact, listen, talk to Mr. Majid Sise, where was the PS, the Ministry of Trade as PS. Ask him. Me talk with
so
authority. Now let me come down. So when we go there, let me tell you what is happening. You see, over time, when you are not in the land sector, you don't understand issues then. It's like you go to school, they teach you a module like mathematics. They give you letters of offer. You know, in this ministry, we have a series of jargons there. We got what is called Dogbola. Dogbola is a stretch of land where surveyors, the others, they keep after surveying, unknown to government ministers and peers over time. So if you don't go there, you never know what is Dogbola. Then about them get the habits, the surveyors, the others, them. When they go in an area, they don't get. Let me just land.
So because we don't get too much time, we just want to know what exactly happened.
Now I just tell you. Listen, no. In land, you get for leather foundation for me to understand. So what happen over time? When they go on the ground, most of those lands are hidden or plots from the ministers there, where probably not go on the ground.
But you said we don't serve as minister and that's the ministry.
Listen, you said that there was nothing I did there. No, to go back a big baby. My explain this a big. So this is where you go in. They give you letter of offer with the dates and the year in question. Now you take letter of offer 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Most of course were valid. But you know what they are doing? Because the ministers they are probably not be so agile on the ground. Them when they get the bone mine. Then they give you land now, let's say now 2020, then backdate down to 2015, 2016, and you know that one day. So what we did we call for verification. This is it, and that way I will cut them. Verification means that any land whether we don't give from the past government, it don't on records. And the site plan means, and the site plan that we give, it don't on records. Let me just land. So we found that most often that most of the site plans were forged. The signatures, yes. Well, not all about myself. Now, most of the government identified areas, them, even Yams Farm, even Rokel, even Bauma, even Meshkem, even Dudu.
So listen, let me talk. So what we did, them same people here where the complaints they get documents away fake. Most of them get them from the ministry, and then same people in there you still work with too.
No, you don't understand about the Bible.
Then get the documents from.
When you become a born again,
not the Bible where they talk about now.
You can't be complaining about somebody all the time.
They get fake documents and they give the people in the blame.
Listen, government letterhead. If you don't understand, government letterhead, they're almost at the hands of everybody in this country.
So not to the ministry, come on.
And not to the ministry. They were partly responsible. This is why we don't get high level discussion. And I don't tell them about the dangers of corruption.
We just
and most often than not, Francis Benkala, they talk about how for mold that ministry day and how for reprimand with government officers. Them. No, listen, in the civil service, they have a model of operation. Now, what a civil servant commits an offense, you write to the HRMO for investigation. They're investigated and the required action is taken. Not to me as ministers.
So, Mr. Minister,
responsibility so the civil service, they take care of the officers them. But what is happening is that as Minister of Lands, we can't be seen in our office, Babel. We know that this government is fake, this land is fake, and you know that it's fake.
All right,
and
Mr. Minister, let me take
most people know say the document they have in are fake.
Mr. Minister, let me take that community as example.
Okay.
Because also, we don't get interviews from the former administration on that area. When they actually lay out.
They tell you say machine they are going to make road.
No, I'm just saying. I want to forget and clear. So the way you don't lay out now, like what they say, you don't make side for bearing ground like schools because like I said, the community complain of who side they don't outline for the thing and they and we report ourselves go there and verify say indeed they. So you don't lay them there now.
Mr. James, let me tell you something about community development. It is absorbed for every community for things because there are small communities, they forget markets, they forget mosques, they forget church, they forget burying ground. We're down the road, you get mosques and church. We're down the road, you get markets. We're down the road, so they get burying ground. Let's take Mogigba. Just down the road, the main road, there's a mosque there, yellow one and painted. You go down by Scouts Camp, there's a mosque there, yellow and painted. I know that place there to my fingertips. The same thing. So now you talk about burying ground. There was no burying ground. Every time burying ground, now the topography of the land in question you take into consideration. Mogaba is stony and hilly. You've been there, you know it. It is so like this that you get that natural water following the candle. Now when you go beyond that aspect, you put stone so now store in the meat. You go so now store in the meat. It's not conducive. We've still taken people there for better advice. We say whether burying ground going there. They say no, Mr. Minister, this particular place not fit for get burying ground. We call the headman, of course, Pausu. We talk to the headman, Mr. Say. They agree. They show understanding. So what we are discussing, and this is what we have discussed, that in fact in this country, let me just learn, we need to forget a national cemetery like country like Dakar, where regardless of how long you don't die, there's a computerized system of all the diamond them. When you go to when you go to the cemetery, they plug the name, say for instance, and Ambrose thoroughly, so tell me we don't go sometimes, then see the year we go, then point to the grave number, you go there, you see them. We are thinking of having a national cemetery between Mashaka and Waterloo, and the president gave me assurance saying, when I see the land, like 30 or 40 acres of land, let me go there. This is exactly what Kemba has done. No, this is exactly what Kemba has done. Under JS Kefala, Kemba don't get a very good stretch of land. It's not a perfect cemetery. So we can't have cemeteries in our communities because those of us who are alive need land. And so we have to centralize it so that when we all will die, we will know exactly where to go.
All right, let me still on country planning. You talk about new communities, they still maintain their names, but now
of course.
We
are coming to that.
Now they cancel. But the same Ogigba, now we see you give Beverly Hills.
No. We are not.
Hold on, let ask. Okay, we'll be seaside plates that they go around say Mogigba, commonly known as Beverly Hills, known as Mogigba. So and also with the famous Pau Patong where you also give. So take me through the process and the authority and the power we get for renaming them community there.
You know, Mr. James, may I elect for candidate 8.1 because I can come and get what to go very interesting questions that I can smile and I can answer with confidence because I know Simon is a very good student because we don't ever fail any exams. Now let me tell you this. It is our responsibility as contained in section 63 of the Future Improvement Act. Say, we come to county planning aspect. That is our mandate. So what we do, now for newly identified areas, not for existing areas. Let me tell you what is happening. When we came,
say no law, not the way specifically.
Can I explain? There's a law. Future Improvement Act, Section 63. When you talk about the administration of town planning areas, where they give that right to the governor and council, when the minister in government, where they call by an order, you call a meeting on to declare a town planning area. This is why I told you from the outset that we say we country planners them and surveyors on the ground for the perimeter surveying.
Can
I explain, please?
Because we look
at I go see student. I don't think they read that properly.
The inside.
Look at the
now for Pulan.
Good. In research, we come very prepared. Make I take my glasses now. Now, Section 63, Governor and Council may declare area to be a town planning area. It's there. Who is the governor? It's the Minister of State that time day. From my order and the area to which this order applies or to which it may thereafter be applied to a town planning area. Now, let me tell you what is happening. When we get this thing, I'll call Director Banya. He's the Director of Housing and Country
You just say you go declare a town planning
area.
Yes,
there are so many for declaring area.
So in this case, not say you say go name a certain settlement. It says declare a town planning area. Because myself just don't open them, where you read them, they go through. it just tell you say, and you self just read and say, it tell you say if you declare a town planning area.
Good. So listen, you know what the declaration of town planning area? It's like you get married.
How
if
you
listen,
explain
it's like you got
town
married.
planning area?
There's a proposal before you get married. They propose to you. I love you, can you be my wife? You say yes. Now the plan don't begin towards the marriage. You can't wait on the day of the marriage. When they say declaration of, now you
but
call
you're not
it,
going to apply that one day into the law where specific.
When they say town planning area, you know, moving now, because don't
do.
forget the same section 62 of the constitution of this country. Say minister should provide general direction or control over the ministries. Then.
That
So listen,
say you forget implement them. We won't forget
and
clear.
Allow me to explain this so that people understand.
Because not only you tell me about law will not exist.
I'm not a lawyer.
Interpreter, how you want for
but
interpreter?
Today the lawyers will feel impressed about me. Let me explain my layman understanding. I did law in Afrobi College year 1. Law of thought, law of contract. We know the cases and they will make of how we excel. So let me finish. Now, when we hold that discussion, now we do go in now and plan that because the new identified area, that stretch of land between the total gas station and the end on the right-hand side from here, going towards Grafton Spring Water, going up in the right, is a newly identified area. In fact, let me tell you what you don't understand about that area there. When we went there, from becoming ministers there, we'll be holding a series of discussions there. It was called Jibo Town. You don't even know. Let me just learn. It was called Jibo Town.
Yes.
And then, of course, that Jibo Town was somebody who wanted to grab the place. And, of course, we refused to call it. It was called other names that don't call you. So what happened? We held a meeting. After we don't do perimeter surveying, after we don't lay out the streets there. What is the town planning? Now, how you lay out the streets there? Now, how eventually, in fact, you get to see for name them. And Grafton, let me tell you, Grafton is a big area. Grafton starts from that speed bomb. Take go to almost near Kosotong. Now, when you go to Grafton, listen, when you go to Grafton, this was the good thing about it. It's very difficult for me to properly identify a Makusa somebody. You get CRS Grafton. The CRS Grafton, that part of Grafton.
Yeah, we just want to let all that part there because we don't get too much time.
So we have
this particular thing we call Pauper Town.
Of course.
Whose professional advice you been get we make you choose that
from
name
not to me choose that, but this is something wrong. I don't work in unison.
Also, you pull the name.
We had discussions with Jibo. We had discussions with Masari. We had discussions with Makati. We had discussions with cross-section of people in that particular area. They came to the office and held discussion in our meeting, in our ministry. At the end, listen, you see, when they meet this concept about pauperism, this is like a country where all talk say, we don't tire for being poor. We don't tire of people they die. We don't, let me just lie, we don't tire with all the negatives them.
Mr.
Now we
Minister,
say, let us get
Mr.
something
Minister,
for change this country forward.
We want forget,
and so this
we want
is
for just
what
go
we are
to the
doing
point
for the good of the people
all
of
right,
this country.
but we
The
just
same
want
thing
go,
we'll do. The
Mr.
same thing,
Minister,
let's
hold on. We want to go straight to the point. You don't call all the community people there, so where you call the name, the Jibos and the Makatis and all the rest. But why you know involve the local council?
Wonderful.
For example, in this thing.
That's why I like you.
Would they talk
You know
but
what?
also devolve or functions to the councils? And for example, I just want to remind you on the meeting, interministerial meeting on get
Yes.
on the 7th.
Okay.
The vice president
Yes.
be assured say include for the give them function there, so preparation of land, use of plans, strategic local plans will be devolved to all local councils with immediate effect.
No, make I tell you,
so
the
I just
spirit
bring
behind
this so if you don't hold meeting with their community
no,
there,
asthma, wait,
allow
me
me.
answer.
Now they ask so with all them community there, what's wrong if you be involved in local council?
No, listen, asthma. I'm happy you started off that way. Now, the Local Government Act of 2004 is being reviewed by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Don't forget, all government MDAs, ministry, department, agencies will collaborate on things that all know say they're in line with the country's new direction. All local councils then get the supervisory ministry, or the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. So you have to be procedural here. You know, in life, when you are not procedural, you become excited, or you say this is your mandate, you miss the goal. What should have happened was this. If you feel aggrieved or this, you should have contacted your supervisory ministry and they will say to the Minister of Local Government. This is why I'm in constant touch with Tamalamina and of course Melos Kago. Now let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. When Bob Sise was alive, that stretch of land behind American Embassy, newly identified, laid out, Bobsy called it Southridge. Today is Southridge. Nobody questioned it. When the same Bobsy was alive, please, there's a part of
I want for challenge you say, that same day, he consult with the local council before they name that community that way.
When consultation again for be positive, you can't consult somebody when you feel say he's not willing or probably.
But why you call other people and not other people?
Can I land? I'm the minister. I report to cabinet and I report to parliament. So there was a part of hill station we call Plum Seat. Bob's the name of Plum Seat, nobody grumbled. The same with IMAX and SS Cap. Now, we have a story town here after Winners Chapel. That story town is not in the books of the Freetown City Council or the Western area of this council.
You talk something very important just now,
one pass
Mr.
story,
Minister.
then goes to another place, they begin sell that land. Today that place is called
We go for fence for look at all the other one and but you just say you can't call somebody we're not willing. Is it that you don't ask the council so you want to involve them? That's the way you plan for naming and a power.
Let us don't limit this discussion on the council. I've been there 3 times. I've held meetings in that council 3 times. Talk to them. I've held meetings with the hitman.
In connection to the name you go be in that particular settlement.
Our operations in that place there. Let me tell you what happened. Where is the local government act where they get that particular power that they are trying to investigate? Let us go. No, let us go out of Freetown. I come from Bo. Behind KRS is a place called Small McKinney. That's the place. You don't evolve over time.
Mr. Minister, the problem there is
the election day. They are calling Small McKinney. By CKC, I'm coming it.
Okay, not just land.
They call them Small Poloko. Both this council
is
grumble,
quite different from this way we look at now this picture. Because the name Papa we all know Usa a common and how it don't be into the SLPP as political name. What you use for name a certain settlement. How you go differentiate SLPP Papa from the Papa where you name another settlement?
You know Papa. You the doctor or
nurse.
So
how you the differentiate now? Because at the same way SLPP they own Papa.
All circumstances, you know Papa. We are all Papa.
How you differentiate them from politics?
Awareness on promoting all for the good of the country.
So how you differentiate them from the politics?
People's awareness on promoting all for the good of the country. I go regent on an APC
so the people
area.
Say they want
we give Otis a land. We not say because Otis that this, we not go try for get the land. We use the pauper concept. People are happy for the good of the majority. That is clear.
All right, Mr. Minister.
So what I want to tell you is that if I get away, we go establish the attributes of pauper all over this country.
So you don't look at the local government act devolution function of the ministry.
Pauper means if you be honest. Pauper means if you be God fearing, and pauper means if you respect one another.
Mr.
So
Minister.
what is wrong with that concept? And the one the other day, these are people them when I surround them from here and outside. We even get APC people in there that have pauper tongue. Of course, it's pauper tongue. And it's easy to identify that stretch of land between Total Station and, of course, the Gravity Spring Water on your right.
So
and they are so happy about it because it is all inclusive and all collaborative. So pauper means people's awareness on promoting all for the good of the country. What is wrong with that?
Mr. Minister.
Nothing. So then are you on different concept of pauper. And there's no pauper with negative on the wall. Check any side of the wall. Watch it. There is no pauper will get negative connotation. Now for the good of the majority of the people.
All right.
And that majority today now to follow. So what about pauper? Of His Excellency's idea is a pauper because they want to go school.
Mr. Minister, you want for
and not because they go school
from
the north, south, east, and west. They go to school.
Okay, so thank you for that your explanation.
Yes, that is powerful.
But let we look at also the naming and the signboard they hold on the sea.
No, but
I'm
where
saying
is it?
And a clarification I want whether not from your ministry it come out or not. We like I say we.
You don't see them. We don't affix them.
Allow me, Mr. Minister.
Okay.
I dey ask you if now your ministry come out or not. Then we go
ahead. Together mandate.
Allow me for ask you the question, sir.
Senior management body where they understand all those decisions them. Until don't fix them. You know, most often than not, impatient they lead to people them, they lead to disaster.
So not to you.
No, listen. No,
it's a yes or no answer. And I the opportunity this I get.
This
So
opportunity
I
is very good. No,
so yes or no. Now from you ministry.
Have you seen it?
I don't see the signboard.
Did you see people don't fix them? I'm asking you.
Mr. Minister.
Like that you also do so. Don't go fix them. Or that area there.
Not referring to me.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm saying you just need for answer me or
something
clarify.
lands on the ground.
Well, I take and say indeed my ministry come on next to the local government.
You don't take because you're not a lawyer.
So let me go to the next.
You're not a lawyer. Now, if you come from the ministry, if you don't affix them, you see them for all.
So you can just cut this short, let people know what they don't see if not sooner from the ministry come out.
But what you don't see, Mabel? I want just one.
This signboard them way Asma just make mention of.
No, but where is it? Now picture.
It's
now let me
yes
tell you.
Or no
so no, not to the ministry.
You know what I do? We'll have to wait.
Because rumors they say it come out from the ministry. If you make them clear,
it
go good for the rest of the public.
Listen, it don't come out that the ministry will not fix up. Let me something.
I'm gonna you be I see you staff they paint and don't now you
staff will not allow anybody for paint. My staff don't paint.
Now they be the
we get some no. You know one thing I wish we do with investigation properly.
But let me go ask you how you they go.
So if you don't wait, no, I fix them. Let me tell you, a finished product is what is best in this world here. A Mercedes Benz is not a vehicle if you not drive it and go off. That's the finished product.
All right,
so you can't say it's the best you have where it's not starting.
All right, let me look
simple.
at the devolved function of your ministry also.
No.
This local government act.
There is this review
No, we
of
want
the local
for talk
government
about
act.
you mandate and
with all
also
respect, there is this review of the local government going on. Let us wait until it is completed. We have a whole mixture of local government. There are all workshops all over the country. That's why Maris Cabo is key in this. That's why Tamalamena is key in this. We can't discuss about that because we have to wait until that act is reviewed and it's still in the process of being reviewed. But then what I want to say here is that let me tell you one thing.
So what do you make up of the statement where the vice president, when I the vice chairman of the
vice president is a horrible
allow
man.
me now ask Mr. Minister.
I know the statement.
No. So allow me now ask.
Okay,
now ask the question and you respond to the law gets constructive explanation and so people go understand.
It has been.
So I want to know what you make up of the vice president in statements when are the chairman for the interministerial chairman of the Interministerial Council issue a press release on the 7th of March 2019 declaring that 28 functions including issuing building permits, preparation of land, use plans and strategic local plans will be devolved to all local councils with immediate effect. It's still not effective. Waiting they happen.
It's simple. The act is being reviewed. It's a process-oriented approach. The VP is a horrible man. Some of us get high regard for him. So the thing is, now he made that statement, which is good. But now it is being reviewed. Notice it is being reviewed. Until that act is reviewed. And of course, don't forget local government acts and act of parliament. We'll get for the back. Until it's being reviewed. Some of us will not comment on what the VP said because we respect him. But of course, he did it in good faith. Now, for ensure efficiency and, of course, move the government agenda forward. But until that act is reviewed, and then we get notification that those functions now should be devolved, not only here in lands, but also in education, health, then, of course, we can take the process forward. So, we are very procedural, and let the act be reviewed, and we'll take it from there. From now, no comments.
Oh, I love the that look at text messages that we don't come inside the program. Oh, walkabouts? Okay. Well, producer say walkabouts.
Ate working up in a room the money. Ate extra. Ate Jordan and me pass by the airport. Ate na dey black to man but in 10 minutes they walk about. It go wow with now man. Ya know the light na they waiting. At the whole international airport, where we get to one and only. Not able. Now then, one tourist here for come. At they talking about stories. Now that the Buddha they sell beach area there. At the beach area been clear, we don't work something there. We are expecting it can be fun play. Now I don't see them this don't be all sky. To show the only thing was in now water. You know the bushy faster. Now the one that this country will know they not the shit. At the plenty explanation on the way go give money, easier said than done. I've been a little go for using Amma. At the plenty minister them them teach all not been the lock again. Man has been the beach. At even me party one self not being sure. Me I don't know what about.
Alright, the program Good Morning Salon, they continue and we they look at messages where people they don't send at the program this morning. The very first one they take from Tunde Scott on the Facebook page. They say Auditor General also recommended that immediate devolution of building permits and local area planning happens in accordance with government press release of 7th March 2019. This has still not happened.
Good morning, Radio D. The Minister, please note we expect a more professional approach in execution of your duties. You are a servant of the people. Secondly, we would like to know if the Ministry's mandates extend to other parts of the country or only in Western area. And lastly, what is happening to our forest reserves, preservation of forests, hills and mountains to address climate change and avoid future disasters. Thank you from Val.
This other message say, Mr. Minister, please comment on the legality of Pauper Town because residents at the settlement did not accept the name, but you placed it.
The lands the lands ministry is not responsible for naming areas. It should be done in consultation with the local councils. Names are given based on histories, culture links, etc.
This other message says, Mr. Minister, what is the stance of lands allocation to people who were affected by the hillside road?
When I read this one say, ask him whose time he gets for the work, where all day he didn't feel in the name of reclaiming one land or the other. He not gets people in ministry we can do that and report to him.
Right, the final one when we go look at this time because of time. The person says, Mr. Minister, who is in charge of the rights of way? Is it the Ministry of Lands or the Freetown City Council or SLRA?
Good morning, 98. Kindly ask the minister why he normally give land to institution without the involvement of the community stakeholders in a particular jurisdiction to know the agreement. Until we get the new revised Local Government Act for now, since it hasn't been reviewed, the Local Government Act of 2000 is the authentic one. Until we get new one, for now, 2004 is authentic. Another message, 98.1, Minister is the worst guest you have hosted in 2020. If indeed he is the one that instructed his boys to install the Pauper signpost in that community, then the act is a lawless act. From Django Nadase, this one said, the land that belongs to the Rec School of Hastings, the minister removed the community school from that place. Please ask the minister about the land from Abu Abu at Hastings. More message, we don't come to the program. Mr. Minister, please just accept that it takes over a year to have your land document from the ministry. Whatever step you official will demand for money, even to letter of offer, they are demanding 8 million. I told one of them that I'm on salary. He replied that he's not salary business. Please go back and do more. This one say, Mr. Minister, how you feel when you can so arrogant in your duties? This other message say, Mr. Minister, I am really not impressed with the way you do your job. Just be calm. Ask professional heads to go in the field. Come and report to you. You too arrogant. Well, we continue with the program. Now, all that we get time for inside the program. Mr. Minister, they come over to us for response.
I just want to tell the texters and plenty thank you for the wonderful text them. You know ever know the nature of that ministry until you're there. When you sit in your office and allow these guys for go out in the field without monitoring them, supervising them, tomorrow when something happens, who are you responsible? So we go there. That is why we spend 70% out there, because we know every sign of the land and you can't hide it from us. And we'll don't forget this, I'm shouting at them. Ministry of Lands may family them, not to place where they sit down and do your work. This is why you have to go out in the field. And it's a field activity work. So do you beg for that loan, I understand that. That's why we do all over the country. As I'm talking to you now, my guys are in McKinney, they discuss the land bill, we don't come up Bo and Kenema and discuss the same thing. Then it takes a year to get a land document. No, if you don't come with evidence, as far as we're concerned, at the monitor, and yesterday, like I tell you, I don't sign as many letters of offer as possible. But sometimes again, now the computation and the calculations, they on our patients, now we're not going to understand. Hastings will not take any community land and the community school. I go to school, I know the relevance of education. And this is why we don't give land to so many schools in this country as possible. And as I'm talking to you, we don't get serious applications then. But then when you go, these are makeshift structures them. What we don't buy then land they are from community people them, and then they did now. So we'll go with the regularize them. But then you go see say there's a school near a school. And of course, they're so kept in place that we're not conducive. So we're going to say, no, we can't keep here, see whether you're going to here. We don't put any community school from anybody. Then locality, yes, with the change, Hillside Road. Hillside Road, my family are very interested in. This not what happened, Mrs. James, from over 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. When they give some people and convenience them for young farm local. They were in here, most travel, then go. So they left the land there unattended to. During that period, then some people go and question the land and take the land there. So some don't come to me, like one Mrs. Wiston, we don't try for locator somewhere else. But again, I was in there. Forest, of course, this is exactly what I was saying. Now, we'll be trying to go out there, we get cooperation with the Security Council, we cooperate, of course, with the NPAA, the EPA. This is why we really honestly frown upon anybody who go out there for ball we forest them. Then just 2020, no. And the people that say, honestly, I'm arrogant. Well, you know, I don't know how you define arrogance, because sometimes when they try to express yourself in a way where people don't go understand in the nature of a job. When they will not be looking across me, they will tell you, I just get passion for my job, and they just want to be straightforward. And so we discuss issues in a straightforward manner. This country, Mrs. James, when you tell somebody the truth, they honestly misinterpret.
All right, so you're so
enthusiastic for me. I'm very simple and I'm focused.
And you're so enthusiastic for make change this time around.
No, change comes gradual.
You don't be minister once. What's difference you get, and why you so get this zeal where you did all over the place?
Because with all the yearn for change, we just can't continue.
Why you not be make difference that 10 days?
Because there was a moratorium. I didn't do a single thing. This is why a commission of inquiry then come. We've all been there. Our records are clean. So, if you are here as station manager, you don't have the weed all. You don't get the freedom to operate. You can't give your best potential.
So what's the makeup of the recommendation where the Auditor General be make for
the recommendation? It is being considered
you immediately devolve the building permits and local area planning to the council.
Maybe it's a wonderful recommendation, but similarly, you had somebody say, let them wait.
The last time I remember when we host you, you've been saying you know they left this particular aspect of that work
because it was being reviewed. Because it was being reviewed. You know why? You know, sometimes when they misconstrue through something, you never talk about the capacity of local councils. Do they have the personnel? How many civil servants?
So you still stand on that statement you make here the last time?
How many civil servants, if you are working in the Ministry of Lands, ready for Gugda City Council, where you go to the government quarter, so they salary reduce? It's a whole complex game where you find on a whole discussion on Ministry of Local Government. This is why they don't go all over the country, don't get the workshops them, and the results are so outstanding. So